I want to have an old school segment. I want to have an old school segment. I know batting average isn't talked about as much, but like you said, Roflo, it's the last of a dying breed. This is something that I personally feel is harder to do in today's game than it's ever been with the quality of quick pitching and the number of bullpen guys that you're facing to go over a career. And I know these guys' careers are still going on and hit 300 over your career.
Yeah.
It takes a special superpower. Like, you have to have something great about you, and it's not going to be consistent amongst every player to be able to do this year in and year out. And it's fascinating to me, D-Ro. I think going into the game yesterday, you had 3 guys sitting right there at the 300 mark. I'm like, we got to do this because you don't know how long it's going to last. You don't know if you're ever going to be able to do this segment again. So why not today?
Well, I think the last players, catchers and pitchers want to see late in game are the guys that hit for average and have power.
Facts.
They can be pitched to, most of the guys throughout the course of the game. But when you get in this 8th and 9th inning, these are your worst nightmares.
You're talking about
he's a
in a game where
12 pitch AB.
League average is 240, 243. Lauren, you and I were talking before. It's regular to look at a major league lineup. After you get to that 5 spot in the lineup, averages start 197, 202, 201. 175, and these are guys who are playing on an everyday basis.
Buck 97, I am contemplating.
No, don't say that.
Let's get into the superpowers.
I like that.
Let's get into the superpowers. Luis Arraez, one of the most battle-tested guys in the game, and what I mean by that, D-Ro, he never loses the battle. He rarely loses a battle for a pitcher who's going against Arraez. You know, once you get to 2 strikes, the at-bat is just starting right now. He's going to lock in. You go in there. You're going to execute a pitch. That's a sweeper down and in that everybody swings over. He locks in, puts it in play. He's going to battle you out, wear you down to where when the next guy comes up in the lineup, you're worn out because you had to deal with Luis Arraez in the first inning. And he broke you down.
And you know what happens? The pitcher gets so ticked off, he gives him a 4-seam cheeser right down Broadway. He's like, I'm tired of this.
Let's get this over with.
Get out of here.
You look at the strikeout percent, 3.9. I was watching a show the other day. Luis Arraez, 20-something strikeouts last season, which is fascinating to me. And the fact that he's hitting 275 with 2 strikes, this reminds me, we're going to get into the superpower. So as we're talking about the superpower, you have to try to think of a legendary player who hit 300 over his career that would align and had this same superpower. This one's easy.
Who you got?
This one's easy. Everybody's going to go.
How dare you?
I'm not saying, hey, just to be clear, I'm not saying Luis Arraez is Tony Gwynn, but Tony Gwynn and Luis Arraez hold the same superpower, which is the ability to not strike out, put the ball in play, wear you out if you're a pitcher on the mound, and make you pay when you make a mistake. Luis Arraez picks and chooses his spots too, by the way.
I know.
All right, we already
he goes deep in the WBC and then shuts it down in the regular season. It's crazy.
Yordan, no exposure. What do I mean by that? You can't expose him with anything. Yordan hits every single pitch, and he hits it well. Extremely well. It doesn't matter. We saw this in yesterday's game. Kurt Suzuki made the decision to pitch to him. He makes you pay. First inning, right out the gate, Reed Detmer says, I'm going to challenge you. Let my presence be known. Yordan's waiting for that. It really doesn't matter. In, out, up, down, fastball, changeup, breaking ball. He's so locked in, and it looks like he makes the exact same swing every single time, D-Ro.
Yep.
It's when Yordan is hot, he's arguably the best hitter in the game, right there with Aaron Judge when he's hot. And when you look at the splits, if you're sitting in a scouting report room and you're going through the plan of the day on how we attack Yordan,
you walk him.
You spoke to it earlier. It's another guy that jumped into my head because I didn't have the heart to put Barry Bonds because I would have got blown up.
Yeah, no, you got to get.
If I put Barry Bonds,
it'll callous you.
We'll get there. He has to get a little more, and then I'll be canceled. I understand that, but for now, we're going to start off. You talked about him earlier in the show. Miguel Cabrera was like that. The guys that we played against, to where you knew I would stand in center field and I'm watching pitches enter the zone, and it don't matter where you went, what pitch you went at. he could touch you anywhere along the yard.
And it looked like they were concerned about average. Like Miggy's not reaching back and selling out for power. Yordan's not selling out for power. They're driving the ball 420 feet all over the lot with a very 80 will get you 100, it feels like. They're not even
It's the big guys who understand that they don't have to swing big just because they're big. They can go with a Luis Arraez approach and hit the ball out of the yard 40 times. 5G coverage. 5G coverage. Oh, we're going to get here. I'm going to let you guess on this one, too. 5G coverage, he covers everything. And that's the ability to hit pitches out of the zone for homers, base hits, dribble it in play, use his speed, take the knock. He's going up there ready to swing, first pitch. You know that, so you try to get him to expand. Every now and then, you'll get the sword and he'll look silly. But majority of the time, he's going to go out there, still get the base hit. Most hits on Chase Way's pitches since 2015. This is elite. 165 knocks on pitches outside of the zone. Before we move forward, there's only one guy of the past that jumps into my mind, D-Row, of who is the best hitter of all time of hitting pitches out of the zone. Just that one superpower standalone, not saying this guy and Altuve are the same hitter, but that specific skill.
Who you got?
Vladimir Guerrero.
All right.
Senior, old school.
Get out of here. He hit balls that bounced.
It made sense with Vlad. If we could run that back one more time. It made sense for Vladdy because you're talking about a tall player, long arms, has the reach to get to everything. You have a guy 5'7" doing the same thing as far as putting the bat on the ball, not driving it like Vladdy. He's not going to have as many home runs as Vladdy. I get it. But that specific skill, Jose Altuve has it. And I wanted to do a full breakdown on Freddie Freeman today. I really did, but I switched it to this because I want to give love to the 300 hitters. But quality control, thinking about a player with elite plate discipline, understands his approach. When Freddie came into the game, his swing was so against the grain, D-Row.
Yeah.
It was one that when you saw it, you're thinking, man, there's no way this swing is going to work. I'm sure a million hitting coaches tried to mess with him, tried to get him to tweak his approach, tried to get him to chase more power. But Freddie Freeman, he knows he's going good if he's hitting that line drive right over the shortstop's head.
And when he's hitting I've known Freddie since he was 17, 18 years old. When he's hitting 285, where most guys be happy, he's miserable.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it comes easy to him, but his expectations he doesn't feel like I should ever go south at any point.
And he's on the race to 3,000 right now.
I'd love to see him stay in the fight long enough to get it.
Oh, he's going to – I think it's a no-doubter. It's a no-doubter for me.
It'll be up to him if he wants it.
He knows his approach. You're thinking about a guy with an unorthodox swing compared to the rest of the league, taking his knocks the other way. I understand it's not the same hitter, but it reminds me of one player, and that's the captain. I'm sorry, when I saw the captain swing, it wasn't a swing that you saw a lot of players doing at the time. And you're assuming, as a young player, people tried to influence him to shift and change, but he didn't. He stayed to his gut, even with the unorthodox swing, and continued to be great. And it's still a skill and something that needs to be appreciated of going out there and being able to get hits and hitting for average and putting pressure on pitchers to where they know even if they execute their pitch, you can still take that single the other way. You can still take that knock. And when you put a couple guys like that on the team, it's a game changer.
Yep.
You close the holes and you allow the line to move. And so every now and then, especially with these guys, they're the ones that's carrying you to the promised land.
Lauren.
It's a throwback breakdown, yes.
Yankees. Mason
line?
Miller. Everybody.
And then?
Hey, let's give a little snapshot of some players that just missed having the distinction of being lifetime 300 career hitters.
Let's do it.
Like our colleague, Sean Casey. Look at some of the names. Notable 299 career hitters. Dante Bichette, Matt Holliday, Minnie Minoso, Justin Pedroia.
Huh?
With that many at-bats, I wonder how many hits away they
A man that I think should be in the Hall of Fame, Kenny Lofton.
Absolutely.